Good morning. One of the things that I've been thinking about for a while is that I want to tell you about some of my talismans since I've started making them again, and wanting to share some of the background information. And I did that a long time ago, but there's probably a lot of new folks that are following along and are interested, and hopefully interested in some of the backstory behind how I got started making these and what my intentions are and what I like to try and do with my talismans. And so I thought I'd tell you about mine, the one that I wear, and it's kind of the evolution of it. This current incarnation, which I've been wearing for probably maybe 3 years now, the main thing for this one is the color palette. That although I've got all the charms and the symbols and things, which I'll tell you about those as well, but the thing that to me, the heart of this is the intention behind it is I was probably 3 years ago I was working with a friend doing some counseling and was kind of having a hard time with my views of abundance, and actually more my overwhelming sense of lack. And I know I share that with a lot of people. And I was trying to come up with an image of abundance, and the only thing I could ever come up with was that when I would try to think of something, I would hold my hands, and I would see I kept thinking I was trying to hold water, and the only thing I could see was that there was all this water, and it was just running through my hands, and it was just this devastating feeling that I couldn't hold on to anything. Everything just slipped away. And then, you know how every once in a while you have those moments, those epiphanies, those moments of revelation, and all of a sudden one day, or one point in the day, I realized I'm looking down at this. I'm so myopic in what I was doing, and I realized all this water is going through my hands. But then I looked up and I saw I'm in an ocean. I'm in this ocean of abundance, and that you can't hold on to that. You can't hold on to money or you can't hold on to anything. That the whole point is that it's fluid, and that everything, energy, everything flows. And so at that point, I'll get choked up here because I always do when I tell the story, that I realized that I am in an ocean of abundance, and there is no limit. And so the way I translated that into, and the feeling I got, it was the color, I think, was what really struck me, and it was that color of the sea, and so that's where this came in. So that color to me is this beautiful sort of deep blue, almost a teal blue green. And so when I put things together, this is a beach pebble that we found along the Mediterranean when Dave and I were in France in Provence for our 30th anniversary, and I have this just exquisitely rich piece of sea glass. And then another thing is moss aquamarine. This is a big chunk of faceted moss aquamarine. And then I have another piece of sea glass. This was a little bit of heart-shaped piece of sea glass that was from Port Townsend when we used to live there. And then aquamarine, and then another and more aquamarine. This is a nice sea blue aquamarine. But then I also felt like I needed something as well as wonderful as it is to float around in the ocean. You also need some grounding there, and so that's this little chunk of carnelian, and this is a nugget that it was from a strand of vintage carnelian beads that I bought. Good Lord, I was trying to think how long I've had these. Probably 15, 18 years I've had this strand of of these vintage carnelian. They were really expensive, so I don't use them readily. So that's my grounding piece. The other things are my prayers for Richie, my little medallion, a spiral, a life spiral, and on the back of that is I am, and I am abundance is my little text nugget here. This has a little bit of what is that? Watermelon tourmaline. And then my chakra pendant that has a even though the heart chakra is usually associated with green, I put a little ruby in here to remind me to stay heart-centered. I'm not specifically Christian, or I am basically, Christian-based, but the cross is always just, for me, is just a symbol of, it's a comforting symbol. And on the back of that I have LG for let go, let God. And so that's all of those components. And then my little blessing that I have on here is a way will be made. And that's from Michael Beckwith from The Secret. That was another transformational thing for us when I really started watching The Secret and started thinking about, I used to have that on heavy replay, just brainwashing day in and day out, just to get my sensibilities changed around. But in there he says, you can start with nothing, and out of nothing and out of no way, a way will be made. And so that all just kind of ties in together. And the thing that I always want to remember when I have this and I clasp it, I keep it, I like these right about here so I can clasp it to my heart. And so I always know that I am, even though, I may some days be feeling just incredible lack, I can clasp my talisman to my heart and know that even though it may appear that I'm looking down, and it's that I'm not looking up, and I need to look up and know, yes, there is an ocean of abundance, and it's available to all of us. And that's what I wanted to share today. So thanks for joining me, and hope to talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.